So the two nutrients which I think we should talk about for teenagers is the iron and calcium. Deficiency of iron will lead to anemia. And if it is for prolonged period of time, it can even have an effect on their heart and lungs. So we don't want that. And the requirements for iron increase in teenage. So this needs to be kept in mind. So for girls, it's 14.8 milligrams a day. For boys, it's 11.3 milligrams a day. So it's more than how you and me would be needing. Right. So this is something we really need to be thinking about. And why do they need this iron? Because they will need iron for their growth. They will need iron for their development. So this is something to consider. So thinking about foods which are, you're thinking about meat, you're thinking about eggs. So all animal-based proteins will give them iron. But when we think about people, some of the girls I know, some of young teenage girls are not fond of having meat. So we're thinking about including green leafy vegetables, okra, dried fruit. So all these kinds of foods will be high in iron. Yeah. If they are focusing on plant-based iron, like plant-based foods which are high in iron, then they need to be having some sort of vitamin C with it. So perhaps if they're having spinach, for that matter, if they have a glass of orange juice with it, the iron absorption will be better. So I would say that those of you with teenage parents, all of you start thinking that, are your children having enough iron in their diet every day?
How can we know that? How can you tell if your child isn't having enough iron?
So the thing is, if you're really concerned, you can do blood tests, but a child who is very lethargic, who is tired, whose concentration is not good enough. I would say that many times when young girls come to me, the major thing is that they feel really tired. Yeah. They don't have energy to do anything. They don't have, you'll see young teenage children moving around, being energetic, and they don't have that energy. So this will be the first sign. And then you can just monitor, and if there is a concern, I would say that speak to your GP and do a blood test. So that's really important. The second nutrient, which I think is also we really need to be thinking about, is calcium. Again, the calcium requirements in teenage are more. Whilst for everybody else, like for me and you, for adults, the requirements are 700 milligrams, but for teenagers, there are more 800 for girls and 1000 milligrams for boys. Wow. So again, they need to be thinking about calcium, because what's happening is that in this stage, there is a rapid growth in their bone mass. Yeah. So we have to make their bones ready for future. So if they're not getting enough calcium, if they're not having foods which are high in calcium, they won't realize it at this time, but later in